We're ready.
Hi, my name's Madison Broom.
Hello, my name is Chloe G.
Hello, my name is Jordan Garrison.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Brown.
And our History Day performance is on Waco.
The deadly encounter
Between the ATF
and the Branch Davidians.
I have gathered you here today to honor your coming of age. Marjorie Thomas, Tyree Jewell, Sky Okamoto,
What are these for, Father?
you are now at the privileged age to become my wives.
It began on a rainy Sunday morning of February 28, 1993, with an ill-fated encounter between the agents of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearm, also known as ATF, and the Branch Davidians.
The assault on what was known as Mount Carmel led to the federal investigation between ATF and the David Koresh's growing arsenal.
Met with resistance, shots were fired. It is not clear who shot first, but after 2 hours, 6 Branch Davidians and 4 ATF agents were left dead, causing a standoff.
This standoff lasted 51 whole days, and when it ended, the compound went down in flames.
In the first few days, the FBI believed that they had made a breakthrough. They had negotiated an agreement with Koresh. In the agreement, the Branch Davidians would leave the compound peacefully. In return, a message recorded by Koresh will be broadcasted on national radio. The broadcast was made, but David told the negotiators that God had told him to stay in the compound and wait.
Father, I'm so afraid. We need to get out of here. The people outside, they're telling us to leave. I really think we should get out of here.
We will not leave. We will stay inside. We do not question God.
Okay, Father.
The ATF released a tank and tear gas into the compound, attempting to get the Branch Davidians to surrender. While inside, David was telling them that if they left, they shall be killed.
Turns out they will be killed either way. Koresh has started a fire in 3 different places, which would burn down the compound and everyone in it. The fire's been lit! The fire's been lit!
Oh my God, they're killing themselves.
Spread the fuel. I want fire around back. Faster, faster.
Within minutes of the first signs of flame, the fire was wildly out of control. Some Branch Davidians were ready for this moment, while others, such as Marjorie Thomas, were not ready nor willing to die.
I couldn't see anything. My vision was clouded by smoke. I made my way up the stairs to watch people watching this dangerous encounter.
Thomas had little time. The smoke was thick and the flames were closing in around her. It was now or never.
I made my way to the window, and I'm scared of heights, so it's either I jump to death or burn. So I put my hands on my head and leapt.
Most others were not as fortunate as Thomas during this deadly encounter. Inside the raging inferno, Koresh's followers were dying. Outside, shocking images of the burning building were being viewed all around the world.
Local social service agencies looked in reports that Koresh was sexually abusing underage girls. Koresh believed himself to be the next Messiah, and as long as you follow him, you shall get salvation.
It wasn't until later that the horrors and stories of inside the compound were emerged.
The compound lacked running water. The children, when they ate their food, they had to eat out of the same pots that they used the restroom in.
As well as being spanked with a paddle, children were deprived from food and were extremely skinny and unhealthy.
The children were forced to chant, "We're soldiers in the army. We've got to fight. Someday we've got to die. We have to hold up the bloodstained banner. We have to hold it up until we die."
It wasn't until 3 weeks after the children were rescued into care that their heart rates finally went back down to normal. This is just some of the abuse they had to endure.
The ATF had recovered a phone call between David Koresh and a police officer that goes by the name Sage.
Hello, David Koresh? How do I pronounce pronounce that last name.
Mr. Sage, have you ever heard anyone die?
Yes, I have.
Then you know how to pronounce my last name.
What do you mean by that, sir?
It's like the exhale breath. Koresh.
A video recorder planted in a milk jug witnesses David telling women that if they did not do what he said, they would be killed.
After the siege, David was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. That day marks one of the deadliest cult massacres in American history.
Okay, I really wonder why you picked this topic.
Well, one day whenever the list of like themes first, or the theme and then the list of projects first came out, me and my dad were looking through them, and then he pointed out the one about the Waco, Texas massacre, and he's saying that he was alive when this was happening, and he remembers watching it on the news, and it was just a crazy day for everybody.
And it was cool that it was so recent, too, so it's not much has changed since then.
And we really wanted to learn, like, why he did this to the children and, like, why he was treating the children like they were his wives when they were only, like, our age.
And no one really understood what happened inside the cult until afterwards.
There's a lot of controversy about this event. Blame on both sides. Now, do you have you formed an opinion?
Personally, I think that the Branch Davidians are in the wrong because David was just like a crazy person. He had all these guns saved up that were illegal, first of all, and that's the whole reason why the ATF got involved. And then afterwards, finding out that he was doing all this stuff to these children that are 11 years old, I mean.
And the parents inside the compound should have at least some common sense that they know that it's wrong and they could try and do something about it.
Yeah, I think it's just crazy how he could brainwash so many people and their children and just abuse them and just be like that.
I imagine there are a lot of primary sources available for this, newspaper accounts and for you to try looking at the archives of the local newspaper about that date.
I found some newspaper articles about it, and it was like talking about how they found like all the machine guns and like the illegal weapons in there.
We found stories that some of the children told that were inside the compound, like their own stories and newspaper articles.
How many children survived?
21.
21.
How do you think that your presentation correlates with this year's theme?
Because it was an encounter between the ATF and the Branch Davidians.
And it was also an exchange of religions.
Did you find sources that you thought you could not trust?
Well, like Wikipedia, and I know there was this one website that I seen, and it had like a bunch of like misspellings, and I just knew right off the bat that you shouldn't be able to trust that if they can't even spell right.
And some of the stories you don't know if like the people inside were telling were true, but more than likely.
Well, this has been a cause célèbre for some groups of people in this country, holding it up as the Davidians being martyrs and the evil government. There's a lot of that on the internet and so on, I'm sure, right now still. So did you see any of that? Any of that kind of point of view at all?
We seen like where the ATF fired first, and then I also seen that David Koresh, the leader of the cult, he started a fire in 3 different places when they put the tear gas inside the compound so it would blow up.
So there's a lot of different opinions. It was like government's fault and who was thinking.
Some of us here watched that on television.
Yeah.
I sure, and it's a vivid memory for us as well, a horrifying experience, horrifying event. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.